In the previous two lessons, we learned about the filling of Malchut Ein Sof through a series of 5 Patzufim called Galgalta Ab Sag Ma'abon. We said that there is the thought of creation, which is to do good to his creations, which is the roots of everything, and that's the Creator to us. Before that, there is something called Atzmuto, something, or his essence, which we cannot research, is the thought of creation. Light comes out, it's called Pchinat Shoresh, root phase, which builds the Kli. And this Kli wants to resemble the light and performs an action of resembling the light until it comes to a state where it wants to receive everything. The pleasure that comes from the Creator as well as his greatness, to enjoy both, because it feels the fulfillment in all its pchinot, in all its aspects. It's called Olam Ein Sof, the world of infinity, of no end, there are no limitations, which is a fulfillment called Dalet Lapshut and Dalet De'oviut. It's the 4th degree of both clothing and the will to receive. So it performs a tzimtzum, a restriction, the light, it ejects the light, and now it is called Olam HaTzimtzum, the world of restriction, and that's called Tzimtzum Aleph, the first restriction, and it remains empty. After that, it comes to a situation where it decides to receive with the intention to bestow. This act is by nature pure giving in its nature. This happens through a force called the force of the Masach, the screen, against the natural desire of the Kli. And in this manner, the Kli, the vessel, is called receiving in order to bestow, which is completely identical to bestowal, equals bestowal. So then, of course, if the Kli does this in all its desire that appeared in Pchinat Dalet, in Olam Ein Sof, in the world Ein Sof, this act will be called the Gmar Tikkun of the desire, the end of correction of the desire through the intention, through the Masach, the screen, through the Or Chozer, the returning light. The Or Chozer, the returning light, is the intention that inverts reception into bestowal. Now the Kli begins to examine itself. How is it possible to perform an act of bestowal in order to of reception in order to bestow? Because the Kli is in a state of having reshimot, reminiscences of Dalet Lapshut and Dalet De'oviut, 4th degree of clothing and the will to receive, the situation it had in the world in itself, meaning it's got impressions of both its great desire and its great fulfillment. So it begins to work on it, meaning it feels itself as consisting of 5 parts. Shoresh Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet, root 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 parts of aviyuts, of the desire. And now it begins to try and fill itself up with in every degree of Yud. But on the condition that it will be in order to bestow. In the end, it fills itself in Reshimot, through Reshimot, of Dalet Lapshut and Dalet of Yud. That gives us a partial filling. And then we have Dalet Gimel, 4 by 3, 3 by 2, Gimel Bet, Bet Aleph, 2 by 1, Aleph Shoresh, 1 by 0, 5 portions of filling in that Malchut Ein Sof that was entered in the Tzimtzum Aleph. These 5 portions are generally called Olam, world. A world is a state of the Kli, a state of being of the Kli, whereby the Masach, through the Masach, it realized all the Reshimot, the reminiscences that were in it, in receiving in order to bestow. It filled itself, as we say. Now we don't draw it like that, the Kli, but as a straight line. So it filled itself, part of itself. First of all, because it's got intentions, considerations, and calculations of how to perform an act in order to bestow. This part, where it does that, is called Rosh, mind, where it receives Or Yashar, direct light, feels it, first rejects it entirely, and then calculates how much can be received in order to bestow, receives that part within, that part that it doesn't receive remains outside. He's writing O Makif, surrounding light. The parts in it are called Rosh, or the mind or the head, Toch, the interior, Sof, the end. The place where the Masach stands is called Peh, mouth. The place up until the point where the Kli receives the light, stops receiving the light, is called Tabur, navel. The Masach that ends the Kli of Tzimtzum Aleph is called Siyum, or conclusion. Why am I saying this? Because in the future we'll have Kelim, desires without the Masach, without the ability to sustain Tzimtzum Aleph, and those will be below the Siyum, the conclusion. So Or Yashar, the direct light, equals O Pnimi, inner light, plus O Makif, surrounding light. So now the O Pnimi and the O Makif together pressure the Masach at the Tabu and force it to purify. So it purifies, yields Patzuf Ab, purifies once more, yielding Patzuf Sag. And purifying once more, producing Patzuf Ma, purifies once more, and produces Patzuf Bon. That's, in fact, these 5 Patzufim, Galgalta, Dalet Ab, Dalet Gimel, Sa Gimel Bet, Ma Bet Aleph, and Bon Aleph Shoresh. By that, they use up Malchut Ein Sof that works with the Masach for receiving in order to bestow. There are no more Masachim, intentions to bestow, there is no more strength to receive in order to bestow. And now Malchut Ein Sof filled itself partly. What does it mean partly? If we take Malchut Ein Sof, we might say that it filled itself in a part of itself. And Parzuf Shoresh in the part marked here will be Parzuf Galgalta. Parzuf Bchinat Shoresh is designated by Galgalta. The Parzuf that comes out of the Aleph part is called Ab. Parzuf that comes from Bet is Sad. Parzuf that comes from the Gimel part is Ma, and the Parzuf that comes out of the Dalet part is Bon. So that's all in all. That gives us a Kli that received the filling, and here the remaining part is a Kli that was not filled. All in all, in the general Malchut Ein Sof after the Tzimtzum. Which is the Sof of Galgalta. But that too we have to fill by way of receiving in order to bestow. So how is that done? Malchut Ein Sof, which received the entire light of Ein Sof in the state of Olam Ein Sof, and could perform its Tzimtzum on it, of ejecting, expelling itself from receiving, from enjoying, and can then decide to receive in order to bestow, meaning perform an act against itself. It had such great powers of reception and the sensation of the giver, so as to enable it to work against it. So that Malchut Ein Sof is now used it up. It received now additional forces. So here there's an act of the Parzuf of Saga, which is in fact the one that must now operate and not Malchut Ein Sof. Why? Because Parzuf Sag or Bina that wants to resemble the giver, the creator, once it feels the giver and wants to bestow, it builds in us, for us, the rest of the expansion. The creator gave the creature the will to receive. Through its appearance, his appearance in the creature, he gave the creature a will to bestow. These two desires come from the creator. And this will to bestow is the one that operates afterwards within the creature. If it hadn't been for Bchina Bet, Bchina Aleph would have remained filled with light as much as it was fulfilled, and that's it. But Bchina Bet procreates Bchina Gimel, because Bchina Gimel is a result of it wanting to receive in order to bestow. And Bchina Daled is only a direct result of Bchina Bet, because it wants to enjoy what Bchina Bet received from Bchina Aleph and Bchina Shoresh. This pleasure here that appears in Bchina Bet, in Bchina Bet this pleasure becomes bestowal. In Bchina Dalet it becomes reception. That's why Bchina Bet is called upper Gvura, upper prevailing, so to speak, or overcoming. And Bchina Dalet is called the lower Gvura, the lower prevailing or overcoming. So, in the name Havaya, too, Bchina Dalet and Bchina Bchina Bet have the same mark in the letter Hey, because they're a result of the sensation of the giver. So Bchina Bet, Bina, is the one who operates in the entire reality according to the example it's set in the 4 phases of direct light. So here in Olam Adam Kadmon, after the Kli realizes itself through the acts of Shorosh Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet, just as it has here in the Dalet B'china Doresha, Shorosh Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet, and after Shorosh and Aleph, B'china Bet comes out, which is called Patzuf Sag. Now Patzuf Sag begins to operate. It begins to work not on producing further Patzufim Bet Aleph and Aleph Shorosh Ma'in Bon. Its concern is once more for Malchut, which it gave birth to, this Sag or Patzuf Bina. And it wants to fill it with all the corrections, tikkunim, and bring it to Ma'atikun, to the end of correction, to receive in order to bestow. This is why, out of this drive of Sag to give, it performs a special act. Once Patzuf Galgalta expands, and then Patzuf Ab, now Patzuf Sag expands in us, comes out in us. I'm writing the parts of the Patzuf here. Each lower Patzuf expands from the Peh of the Elyon up to its Tabu, and the Peh of the Tachton stands at the place of the Peh De of the Elyon. De Elyon means of the Elyon. De means of in Aramaic. Because Patzuf Sag is Patzuf Gimel Bet, 3 by 2, Patzuf Bina, it's got a desire to bestow. Similar to B'china Bet from the 4 B'chinot of Ol Yashar, direct light. Its property is the property of bestowal. And this is what prompts it to act toward that part of Malchut from Tabu to Siyum, which is still empty. We can divide Patzuf Galgalta into Sfirot. Normally, we divided it into Keter Chochmah Bina in the Rosh, Chesed Gvura Tiferet in the Toch, and Netzach Chod Yesod Malchut in the Sof. Patzuf Sag, which expands through a Zivug Daka in its Opnimi, has Zivug Daka on Rishimot Dalet Gimel. What does it mean having Rishimot Zivug Daka on Rishimot Dalet Gimel? It's got Gimel Tehit Labshut too, so it's got some Or Chochmah. That's why in the Opnimi, because there's Or Chochmah, it cannot fill up that part of Malchut, that part of the Patzuf, from Tabu to Siyum. Because Or Chochmah is forbidden to go below Tabu. There's no Masach for receiving Or Chochmah in order to bestow. But once Patzuf Sag is purified, as usual, by the Bitush, the beating of Pnimi and Makif, the inner and the surrounding, and reaches Reshimot of Bet, Deit Labshut, and Ved of Yud, which is Bina, pure Bina, then this Parzuf can expand, of course, above Tabu, but also below Tabu, because it is a Parzuf which is entirely O Chasadim, light of mercy. So it expands this way. By expanding downward, it also fills the kelim, the vessels of Nehi de Galgalta in its light, the light of Chasadim, the light of mercy, with its light. It's light of Bet Deit Lapshut and Bet Deovyut. Chasadim. It's a light of bestowal, pleasure from bestowal. The sensation of bestowal fulfills the kelim of Nehi de Galgalta, which are will to receive. Here we have Dalet Deit Lapshut and Gimel Deovyut. After the Hizdachut, the purification of Galgalta. Above Tabu and below Tabu, we have Dalet Deit Lapshut and Gimel Deovyut. Because the light of Chasadim fills Nehi de Galgalta, it induces a bonding of the two parts. Nehi de Galgalta, Netzach Hod Yisod de Galgalta, the coarse part, the Dalet Gimel. It connects because of the equivalence of lights that is now in them. The light of Chasadim, it comes from Bina, which expands in both Parzufim, brings them together. Why? Because the light that expands in the Kli suppresses the Kli. You don't see the Kli, you see the act of the light in it. So then, the part of Parzuf Galgalta, which is called Nehi de Galgalta, and the part of Parzuf Sag, only a part. Well, these parts join together and impart the Avyut to one another. Dalet Gimel gives its Avyut, its desire, to Bina, to Bet Bet. Meaning what? Here we have a Masach of Bchina Dalet. And here we have a Masach of only Bchina Bet. After the Hizdachut, the purification of the Masach. After the Masach weakens, after Ab, and after Galgalta and after Ab. So then, Bina feels Dalet Deovyut, meaning it feels that it cannot provide Bchina Dalet with a Masach and the fulfillment that Bchina Dalet wants. And for that reason, Bina restricts itself, meaning its act from Bchinat Shoresh to Bchina Aleph in reception, and Bchina Bet, where out of the reception now it wants to bestow. We know that Bchina Bet consists of two Bchinot, two aspects. It's got both a desire to bestow over here in its upper part, and in the lower part it decides how it can bestow. And then it realizes that if I receive, yes, in Bchina Gimel, that reception will be as bestowal. That's the will to bestow in the upper part of Bet. In the lower part of Bet, there's already the intention to receive in order to give. And here in Zaranpin and Bchina Gimel, there's the execution of the reception in order to bestow. So, Bchina Bet consists of two parts. A part that begins to want to bestow, and that's the upper part, and the lower part actually plans the act of bestowal de facto. The upper part of Bina is called Gar de Bina, upper 3 of Bina. The lower part of Bina is called Zad de Bina, the lower 7 of Bina. Where does that come from? Very simply, we learned that Zaranpin consists of 6 parts. It's got Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. 6 parts, which are also called Vak, Vav Ktsavot, 6 ends. And after that there's Malchut that receives. Before that we have Bina, which gives them. That's Bchina Bet, which builds Zaranpin. And Malchut that stands after it. So all in all, in Bina we have a part that tends to the lower ones, which is called Vav plus 1. That's 7 Zat, 7 bottom 7. The bottom 7 of Bina, to which she will have to bestow. Now she plans how she can receive from above and pass it down to the bottom 7 that will be below her. 6 for Zaranpin and 1 for Malchut. Gal of Bina, the upper 3 of Bina, is Keter Chochma Bina, our Keter Chochma Bina, where in order to understand bestowal, Bina has to consist of Bchinat Shoresh, which is Keter, Bchina Aleph, which is Chochma, and herself, or itself, Bina. And that's why they're called Gal, the first 3. So, Bina consists of the upper 3 and the bottom 7, a part that tends to Malchut. But for its own act toward Malchut, each and every part in spirituality that is about to tend to fill something, to perform any kind of mission or an act or an independent act, that part is divided into 10 sefirot. It might be tiny, a tiny part of a huge partzuf, but if that part does anything specific, then in itself it divides into a whole act, meaning 10 sefirot. So that part of Zad de Bina is divided into 10 sefirot of its own. Keter Chochma Bina, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut. Now in that part, I'll erase
Keter Chochma Bina,
Chochma Bina, as we've said, is made of kelim that don't belong to Bina. These are kelim that were made in it so that it would start working with itself. Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet. Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet are kelim that we said in the previous lesson These are kelim within Zaranpin that still belong to the upper three, because Chesed is like Keter, Gvura is like Chokhmah, and Tiferet is like Bina, corresponds to Bina. Only from Zat de Tiferet, if we divide Tiferet as Zaranpin into as Bina into two parts, then Tiferet in itself will consist of 10 Sfirot, its upper part belonging to Bina, and Gad de Bina in the lower part to the Zad de Bina. So what we have here in Tiferet, the part that belongs to Bina, that's Gad de Tiferet. Zad de Tiferet already belongs to the part of Zaranpin itself, below Bina. So these parts, Keter, Chokhmah, Bina, in and of themselves, and the Keter, Chokhmah, Bina in Ze'ir, which are called Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, these parts belong only to bestowal. He's writing bestowal. These we call Galgalta and Enayim. Enayim is eyes. The actual Keter, Chokhmah, Bina are called Galgalta. Galgalta comes from the word Gulgolet, skull. And Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet are called Enayim, eyes. The parts below the Gal, this is like Gal, all of it. The Gal in the Keter, Chokhmah, Bina, and the Gal within Zaranpin. Yes, it's the Gal de Zaranpin. So these parts are called Ozen, ear. That's Zad de Bina, that's a Chod Yesod, is Chotem, nose, and Malchut is the Peh, the mouth. All in all, we get the Achap, Ozen, Chotem, Peh. This is how we divide that part of the Parzuf of Bina that descended and mingled with Nehid de Galgalta. When the influence of Bina Dalet, that great desire, great of youths, when it reaches Bina, it influences only the Achap part, the part that is not for bestowal but for reception in the Parzuf. And this is that part isolates the influence on it. It adds to it the will to receive B'chinat Dalet Delvut. So in that whole Kli, the part of the Ozen, Chotem, Peh, or Nehim, the Bina, now it is governed by a great will to receive, which is Dalet Delvut. In general, we said that Bina has only Bet Delvut. Of the Masach on its desire. And so when a greater desire comes, in this entire part, we see that it is impossible to provide Malchut with its degree of Dalet, desire of Dalet. You can't provide it anything, any lights. Meaning what can be done is only to that part of Galgalta which is called, which corresponds to Keter, Chokhmah, Bina, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet. So for that to have it controlled by Parzuf Bina. Because of that, that Parzuf of Bina, which is below
שלו כלפי מלכות.
is restricted in its act toward Malchut. It doesn't operate its parts, which is in the lower part of it.
הפרצוף הזה עצמו
That parzuf in itself
נקודות
is called Nekudot Desag. Nekudot are points. Nekudot Desag. Nekudot of Sag. Why Nekudot Desag?
שאור פנימי שבפרצוף
We said that the opening in the parzuf, the inner light in the parzuf that extends from the rosh, from the mind, and fills the parzuf is called tamim, flavors. Tamim.
והאורות שיוצאים
And the orot that exit the parzuf
נקראים נקודות.
are called nekudot, points. Why? Because they
שלא מסוגלת
they manifest, they show or portray Malchut as a black point that can't receive anything.
כאן מלכות.
Here,
סליחה,
Malchut, purified,
ושג,
Malchut Desag,
ג' ב',
purified from Gimel Bet and came to a state of Bet Aleph,
ובדרך שהיא
and
הייתה ב' ב',
as it became Bet Bet,
פרצוף הנקודות
this is
דסג.
called Parzuf Nekudot Desag,
פשטה למטה,
it expanded down and filled Nehida Galgalta.
לכן, בפרצוף הזה יש
This is why in this Parzuf we have
בינה נקייה מצד אחד,
pure Bina on the one hand,
השפעה מבחינת ד'
bestowal,
מצד השני,
or the influence of Bina Dalet on the other hand,
של
and the
הפרצוף
Tzimtzum of the Parzuf Nekudot Desag or Parzuf Bina in its act with respect to Malchut. It's not that Bina is restricted, but a part in it that is intended to tend to Malchut, that is restricted. As we have said here, that part of Bina,
מיועד לטיפול
which is meant to tend to
מלכות
Malchut,
בתחתונים,
to the lower ones,
הוא עכשיו מצטמצם,
is now restricted and understands that it cannot provide the lower ones, neither the masachim, the screens, or the corrections, or the lights. That's why this tzimtzum restriction is called tzimtzum bet, the second restriction, where malchut, which is being limited here, which is limited here, rises and raises its limitation to where the kelim dashpa, the vessels of bestowal, end, and its ascent there is called tzimtzum bet, second restriction. Sorry, I wrote tzimtzum aleph. I meant tzimtzum bet, second restriction.
ומה יצא לנו מתוך זה?
So, what does that give us?
פרצוף גלגלתא,
Parzuf
שהוא
Galgalta,
בעצם
which is in fact,
מסמל לנו כל המלכות דנס,
which designates the entire Malchut Ein Sof,
אחרי האב שבו,
after the Ab in it and the Sag in it,
ונקודות דסג
and
שבו,
Nekudot Desag in it,
שג הזדחך,
when Sag purifies,
ירד למטה,
it comes down,
ובחלק שבו,
and
שירד למטה,
in the part that came down in it,
שכאן זה בינה נקייה,
which is-
וכאן זה זד
this is
בינה,
pure Bina, and that's Zad Bina,
שמטפלת במלכות.
tending to Malchut.
זה הצטמצם.
That part was restricted.
מהשפעת ד'
From-
גלגל.
because of the influence of Daled Deovyut of Galgalta.
זאת אומרת, אם אנחנו נדבר כלפי
So,
המלכות
if we
בסוף,
speak with respect to Malchut Ein Sof,
אז שורש
then the Shoresh
משפיע לאלף,
gives to Aleph,
אלף
Aleph
הופכת להיות לבית,
becomes Bet,
בית
Bet
צריכה לעשות
two
את הגימל וגימל,
should create Gimel 3 and Daled 4, and B'china Daled
משפיע כך על בינה,
influences Bina in such a way that it says, well, seemingly to Bina,
אל תביא למטה
don't
את האור שלה,
bring your light down,
אני לא מסוגלת
I
לקבל אותו.
cannot receive it in order to bestow.
יש כאן תגובה של מלכות,
There's a reaction of Malchut to Bina here,
פידבק.
like a feedback.
הקשר בין תחתון לעליון.
The connection between the lower and the upper. Now it is the first time that it is made.
מלכות
Malchut
משפיעה
influences
על
Bina. Or affects Bina.
כשאנחנו דיברנו, כתר,
We said that Keter, Chochma, and Bina
זה עליונים.
are the Elyonim, the upper ones. They're called Gar, the upper three, or the first three.
ומזד דבינה,
From Zad the Bina,
להיות השפעתם
there
לנברא.
begins their
הם עדיין
bestowal down to the creature. They are still considered the creator.
שורש, זה מחשבת הבריאה.
Shoresh is the thought of creation, B'china Chochma, B'china Aleph,
זה כל האור
is
וכל הכלי שבורא רוצה להקדיש
the
לבריאה.
entire light and the kli that the creator wants to give to the creation. Bina is when he gives his attribute to the creature so that the creature would understand who he is and thus be able to complement itself and reach completeness. And from Bina onward, these are upshots, results of the actions of the creator toward the creatures. We see that the creature, which is Malchut,
הוא עושה צמצום בבורא,
actually restricts the creator because he doesn't want, performs a restriction in the creator because he doesn't want to receive in order to receive and cannot receive in order to bestow. So it restricts the act of the creator on it and says, I do not want it. And you don't do it.
וזה נקרא צמצום.
This is called Tzimtzum Bet, the second restriction.
זו פעולה מאוד חשובה.
It's a very important act because it creates the connection between the creature and the creator.
ומעמידה את הנברא
And
להיות
positions the creature in the position of the giver, because even when it says do not give me, by that it gives, it expresses its desire to be like the upper one.
הפעולה הזאת היא פעולה,
And this act is,
איך להגיד,
how should I put it,
קובעת לפעולת
the
לא איכותית.
it's not quality.
נקודת
It's a point of,
הבריאה, כן, נקודה המכריעה.
it's a crucial point
למטה,
in the evolution from
פעם ראשונה,
up downward, because here it is the first time where there's a reaction of the creature to the actions of the creator.
ובאמת, מצמצום ב'
And from Tzimtzum Bet onward, we can already talk about actions that in the end
יביאו אותנו
will bring us to
להיווצרות הנברא.
the creation of the real creature.
וכאן עדיין אנחנו לא
Here
רואים
we
בפעולות
still
האלה
don't see in these actions that Bina
השפיע משהו
actually gives anything to Malchut,
יכלה להתקן.
so that Malchut could be corrected. Malchut
כאן למטה מטאבו,
here below Tabu can only be
ההשפעה של
impressed with the bestowal of Bina.
אבל בסופו של דבר,
But in the end,
עם הבינה,
when it
היא השפיעה צמצום
connects with
לבינה.
Bina, what it gives to Bina is the Tzimtzum, or it affects the Tzimtzum on Bina.
בעצם
So what happens here
מאוד מיוחד
is a very special unification between
ובינה,
Malchut and Bina,
שעכשיו הם יכולים
where now they can operate
בינתיים מלכות
reciprocally,
השפיעה על הבינה.
mutually. Presently, Malchut
שמלכות
influences the Tzimtzum Bet on Bina, affects it, but when Malchut
לה בחזרה,
is corrected, it'll compel Bina to give it back the lights that for the time being
מסרבת לקבל.
it refuses to receive.
זאת אומרת, יש כאן פעולה,
So there's an act here
בינתיים רק מצד המלכות על הבינה,
only from Malchut on Bina.
תגובת המלכות על הבינה.
It's the reaction of Malchut to Bina, but
בעתיד,
in the future
תופעות,
it will
הרבה
produce
תופעות של
many
מלכות. עד כדי
common
כך,
acts of Bina and Malchut
המלכות הזאת,
to the point where Malchut here
למטה מטבור,
below the Tabu
היא
will
תקבל תיקונים מהבינה ותמלא
be corrected by Bina, will receive corrections from Bina, and will fill itself up with lights in order to bestow.
כל המערכת.
And then this entire system will be corrected, and the entire Malchut and Sof, or the creature, will reach Gmar Tikkun, the end of correction.
הפרצוף
The Parzuf,
שירד למטה
we said that it came down below Tabu, the general Tabu,
כדי לטפל
in
במלכות
order to
שלמטה מטאבור,
tend to
נקרא
Tabu below Malchut.
נקודות.
So we called it Nekudot de Sag.
והפרצוף הזה,
And
כשירד,
that Parzuf, when it came down,
להתערב עם מלכות,
when it mixed with
קיבל במלכות
Malchut,
התרשמות.
it was impressed
זאת
by
אומרת,
Malchut,
בסך
meaning
הכל, אחרי הפעולה הזאת,
after this act,
איזה רשימות
what kind of reshimot, reminiscences, or recollections, what kind of data do we acquire?
בינה
We
שירד
acquire data from Parzuf Bina that came down below Tabu, which is in fact
בית להתלבשות,
Bet
א' דאביות,
Deit Lapshut,
המצומצמים,
Aleph Dovyut that are restricted in Tzimtzum Bet,
ועוד התרשמות
plus
שהוא
the
מהמלכות.
impression that it acquired from Malchut of Dalet Gimel.
בסך הכל,
All in all,
אלו הרשימות,
these are the reshimot,
הנתונים שיש
the
לנו
data, the
אחרי
information that we have
הפעולה הזאת של
after
בינה
this
על
act of Bina over
ומלכות
Malchut
על הבינה.
and Malchut over Bina.
שרשימות בית א'
Reshimot, the restricted Reshimot Bet Aleph,
על הפרצוף בינה,
tell us
שהצטמצם,
about Parzuf Bina that was restricted.
ורשימות ד' ג'
Reshimot Dalet Gimel
אומרים לנו
tell
על
us
ידי מה הוא
about
הצטמצם, מה חלק המלכות שכאן.
how was it restricted, the part of Malchut here.
וכרגיל,
As
אם
usual,
יש רשימות,
if you have a
והרשימות
Reshimot,
האלה עדיין
and these
לא
Reshimot
התממשו
still haven't been,
על ידי
still
הפעולות,
haven't materialized through actions on them,
הרשימות דורשות
these Reshimot now
נמצאות
demand, because of
מתוך
the
הרצון
desire that they're in,
שיממש אותם.
so the demand of the desire to realize them. So these Reshimot rise up to pay
אחרי כל
of Rosh Desag,
המעשים שנעשו כאן,
after
למען
everything
מדבר,
that happened here below Tabu,
ודורשים מילוי.
and now they demand
מה עושה
fulfillment.
פדר
So what
דסק
does pay of
על
Rosh Desag do over these Reshimot?
פדר ראש דסק,
Pay de Rosh Desag, pay of Rosh of Sag,
אני נצייר את כאן בהרחבה,
I'm drawing it here, I'm making it wide deliberately, detailed.
שיש בו רשימות בית א',
It's got Reshimot Bet Aleph, restricted.
עושה זיווג על הרשימות
So
האלה.
now it makes a zivug, a coupling on these Reshimot. What does it mean restricted? These Reshimot say, we don't want fulfillment for the entire Parzuf, we're forbidden. We have to receive fulfillment only up to the place
איפה
where
שנגמרו הכלים שלנו,
our kelim end. Keter Chochmah Binah, Chesed Gvura, and
חלק מהתפארת.
a part of Tiferet.
המקום הזה,
That
איפה
place
שנגמרים הכלים
where
האלה נקרא
these
פרסה.
kelim end is called Parsa,
הפסק.
or like a cessation.
עד כאן אנחנו רוצים לקבל אורות.
We want to receive
כי
lights
עד כאן,
up to here, because
המלכות
up to here is a part of Malchut,
והבינה יכולים
up to here the part of Malchut and the part of Bina can be
סוג השפעה.
in some sort of
כמו גר,
reciprocal
אבל בקושי
bestowal.
השפעה.
It's like, it's small, it's like Gal, but it's still bestowal. So accordingly, Rosh Desag
הוא עושה
acts in
זיווג
such a way that it makes a zivug not on the peh,
שלו,
its peh.
ופה זה נקרא למלא כל
In
הכלים.
peh, zivug on peh means filling all the kelim, but on a part of itself,
כדי למלא רק את הכלים האלו.
so as to fill up only these kelim, the Galgalta and Einayim.
למלא את הכלים גלגלת.
In order to
צריכים גם כן
fill up
לעשות
kelim, the Galgalta and you have to divide the Rosh as well into Galgalta and
ולאחר.
and a chap.
כתר חוכמה,
Keter Chochmah
חלק עליון דבינה.
and the upper part of Bina. These are called Galgalta and I'm sorry, Zad the Bina, the lower seven of Bina, are called Yachab. So, making a zivug only on Galgalta Einayim Dorosh, it makes a zivug only on Galgalta Einayim Dorosh, and the light of it, from that, it gives below the tabul. So then it fulfills only these kelim of Galgalta Ve'enayim below. Kelim of the Galgalta Ve'enayim in the Rosh. That's what it does. Rosh Distag. Over the restricted Reshimot Bet Aleph. What we end up with in this Parsuf is called Parsuf Nekudim because it was adduced on Nekudot Desag. This Parsuf Nekudim is very special. It consists of a special structure. It consists of 3 parts called Keter, Chokhmah and Bina, and Zon, as usual, although it's small. But we've already said that even the smallest part, when it is born or performs an independent act, it's divided into 10 sfirot. There is no more or no less than 10. Chokhmah and Bina are called Abba ve'Ima in it. And so, what is the special thing about it? It's the structure. We've said that a Parsuf cannot be less than 10 sfirot. That is why its Keter also consists of 10 sfirot in Chokhmah and Bina and Zon. But in each and every sfirah we work, and in the 10 sfirot in general, only the parts that belong to Galgalta Ve'enayim operate in it, because every sfirah is also divided into 10, but only Keter, Chokhmah, Bina, Chesed, Gvura, and half of Tiferet operate in it. And if we distinguish all these parts that operate in Keter from the parts that do not operate in Keter, then we discriminate it this way. Keter, well, it's like this. Keter, that's its Galgalta Ve'enayim, and that's the Achab. That's the Keter. So only Galgalta Ve'enayim operate. The Achab doesn't, or don't. And then we have Abba ve'Ima, which also operates, a part of it operate, the Galgalta Ve'enayim, and the Achab don't. And then Zon. Only the Galgalta Ve'enayim in it operate, and the Achab do not. This is what came out. It's a Parsuf, but here I divided it in order to show how special it is built, where the lower part of the upper Parsuf is in the upper part of the lower Parsuf. Why is it so important? From here, this creates the connection between the Parsufim, where the upper one is inside the lower one. And that connection, that structure, continues up to this world and down to us and within us too. There is a part of the upper Parsuf. If, for example, that's me, and I find within me, in my spiritual kli, I find the Galgalta Einayim and the Achab. So in my Achab, I can discover, actually in my Galgalta Ve'enayim, I can discover the Achab of the upper one. It's very important,
אז אני יכול אולי לתפוס
because
אותו.
then perhaps I can catch it
ואז מתחיל לעלות.
and thus begin to ascend all the way to Ein Sof.
מה זה עד אינסוף?
What does it mean to Ein
עד
Sof?
מחשבת הבריאה להיטיב לנבראיו.
Back to the thought of creation, to do good to his creations, which is what the Creator wants us to come to.
רואים אנחנו כאן, שצמצום ב'
So now we see
קשר בינה
that
עם
Tzimtzum
מלכות.
Bet, the connection between Bina and Malchut,
בעצם
is in fact
ההצלה
the
למלכות,
salvation of Malchut
לאט לאט להתקשר
by slowly connecting to Bina, to the upper Patzufim,
לעלות לאט
and
לאט
thus gradually ascending
העיניים שלה לאחת.
from its own Gagaltainaim to the Achab of the upper one, and then from in the Elyon from its Achab to Gagaltainaim, and then to the Achab
אחת יותר עליון,
of an even higher one,
ומאחת יותר
and
עליון,
from the Achab of the higher one to the Gagaltainaim of the higher one, and then to an even higher Achab,
זאת אומרת, יש
etc.,
לה כאן
etc. So here we have
מדרגות
degrees
העלייה
of ascent
שאנחנו יכולים
by which we can,
בפציעתנו עליהם,
by stepping on them, we can reach all the way to Ein Sof.
לכן ציירתי
This is why I drew these Patzufim.
ובכן, עולם הניקודים
As
בקטנות,
gradations.
בינה מצומצמת,
So we have the world of Nikodim, Olam Nikodim. In Katnut, Bina is
ועכשיו
restricted.
יוצא לנו
Katnut is smallness. So now
זיווג מיוחד,
there's a special zivug that
ד' ג'.
comes out on Rishimot Dalet Gimel.
מה עם ד' ג'?
What are Dalet Gimel? These Dalet Gimel are Rishimot from Galgalta,
שהם אומרים,
which
אנחנו רוצים
say
לקבל
we
את
want to receive in order to
כל
bestow
הד' שיש בנו.
with the entire Avyut in us. Dalet Dovyut.
תביא לנו.
Bring it to us.
ואז בסג
So, in Sag,
מגיע
there comes
זיווג
a
על
zivug
ד' ג'.
on Dalet Gimel.
שזיווג הזה נעשה
This
על
zivug
כל הפרצוף סג.
is made on the entire Patzuf Sag, on its peh.
ומזיווג הזה
And from this zivug
מתפשט האור
expands
לכתר,
light to Keter,
ומכתר
from
לאבא,
Keter to Abba Ve'ima,
ומאבא ואמא
from
לזון,
Abba Ve'ima to Zon,
ועובר מגלגלת עיניים
It
לזון דרך הפרצה,
travels through Galgaltainaim the Zon to the Parsa
וכשאור
and to Achab the Zon. When the light reaches
למקום איפה
the place
שהפרסה,
where the Parsa begins,
אז כלים מתחילים
the
להישבר.
Kelim begin to break. Meaning what?
כאן,
Here there begins
שזה
to
נקרא
be a loss of the Masach. That's called,
שבירת הכלים.
that's the breaking. It's the breaking of the vessels. Shvirat HaKelim in Hebrew.
למה? כי מצד אחד,
But why?
במקום הזה,
On the one
יש
hand,
צמצום ב'.
we have Tzimtzum Bet in this place.
הוא אומר שאין
It
כאן
means that here
כוח לקבל על
there is not enough power to receive in order to bestow.
ומצד השני,
On the other hand,
רשימות ד' ג'
the Reshimot Dalet
דורשות
Gimel
מבינה
demand of Bina
בוודאות.
with certainty. They know
בינה יכולה
that
בעצמה
Bina can
לספק
provide
את הכוחות האלו
these
של מסך
powers of the
למלכות.
Masach to
אם זה
Malchut.
לא היה כך,
Because if
לא
it
היה
hadn't
מחשבת
been
הבריאה בכלל נמצאת
the case,
כעיקרון
the thought of
כל
creation
המלכות,
would
כל
not have been the
הרצון
principle,
פעם הצטרכו להיות על מנת להשפיע.
would not be that all the desires of Malchut would at one time have to receive in order to bestow. So there is
למלכות כל הכוחות,
certainly a desire in Bina to give Malchut all the powers and fill it with all the lights. It comes from the thought of creation.
שמחשבת הבריאה היא
The
כך,
thought of
מעשה
creation,
במחשבה תחילה,
yes,
זאת אומרת,
is,
סוף מעשה
well,
כזה.
the end of the act is in the preliminary thought. In other words, there will be such an end where you will receive
של המלכות,
these kelim of Malchut, you will receive the powers in Masach and be able to receive in order to bestow. Now, when Bina expands in the new Zivug and receives the lights, these great lights of Dalet Gimel, it receives them from the world Ein Sof through Galgalta, through Ab, and then of course it feels that it can and must bring these lights down to Malchut. But there is we still don't have the condition of Malchut being able to receive in order to bestow. The reason is that it still hadn't mixed enough, mingled enough with Bina. Here, at the end of Galgalta, we have Malchut, which is only restricted in Tzimtzum Aleph. It has like a mere desire to receive in order to bestow, but is unable. So here we have Bina, which gave to Malchut, which gave to Malchut only the awakening to be like the giver. And Bina was restricted in Tzimtzum Bet. Meaning, in Bina there remains a small part that gives, and in Malchut its larger part is, for reception, is restricted with a desire to at one time realize itself with the desire to receive in order to bestow. So here Bina opens itself up and gives as much as it can forces of Masach and lights of fulfillment. The problem is that below Parsa, the powers of the Masach still can't go through. What happens here? When Bina gives to Malchut, it gives in two actions. The first is called Or Absag, the light of Absag, which gives the Masach to the lower one. The second act is called the light of fulfillment, which brings the Pnimi, the inner light, to the Tachton, to the lower one. The problem is that this act, the light of Absag, that had to bring the Masach to the lower one in the first act, such an act never existed before. And for this reason, the Patzuf still didn't have the discernment by which to know if that light was operating on it in all its parts. Because you can always check what happens after you have experience, actual experience. Of course, there's a desire to receive in order to bestow in all the Kelim, but they don't actually know if that desire exists in potential or not. Desire to receive in order to bestow. So, because the Parsa hides these Kelim of Zad Bina, it seemingly can't be tested. You can't know for sure. There is a sensation that it is possible because there's a desire in Malchut, in Bina, and in the common Patzuf, in the Zivug, in the Rosh Tesagis, for receiving in order to bestow. And this is why these Kelim below the Parsa did not know in advance that they were unable to receive in order to bestow. Their intention was only to bestow, but de facto it did not work out. And this is why they lost the Masach. Meaning the breaking of the vessels means that the Masach, the intention, becomes in order to bestow to in order to receive, is turned, is inverted.
זאת אומרת, יש לנו
So we have
כלים מיוחדים
special kelim,
שהם כתר
which are
ואבא ואמא,
Keter, Abba ve'Ima,
גר,
Gal, the the first three,
ראש,
Rosh,
שגרמו
which
לכלים
caused the
שנקראים זת,
kelim called Zat, the lower seven, and the bottom seven.
שבירה,
They caused them to break,
עיבוד המסך.
to lose the Masach.
ועכשיו, הנברא בעצם, זת
Now
הנברא,
the creature,
Gal
Zat is the creature,
תכונות הבורא.
and Gal, the
הנברא
upper
נשבר.
three, is the attribute of the creator. So now the creature breaks, it loses the Masach. And
הנברא הוא
what does it mean to lose the Masach? The creature wants
לקבל
to receive
לעצמו,
for itself.
שלא היה לו זה אף פעם.
That never existed before,
4 בחינות באור ישר,
because in the 4 phases of direct
בין
lights,
בחינה א' בלבד,
it received only in Bchina Aleph,
וזה היה על ידי הבורא.
and that was done by the Creator.
בחינה ד' שרצה
And
לקבל,
when it wanted to receive in Bchina Daled, when it finally received,
מיד הרגיש בושה
it
והצטמצם.
immediately felt shame and was restricted.
לא חשב לפני שמקבל
It
בחינה
didn't
ד'
think
שהוא
prior to receiving in Bchina Daled that it does want to receive and enjoy,
ירחיק אותו מהבורא.
and that it will distance it from
מה
the Creator.
כאן, יש
But
כבר
here
נתונים
we already have
על זה שכן,
information about the creature that the creature will be separated from the Creator, opposite from him, that there's a complete oppositeness. I'm writing the sign delta. It's a sign for a difference,
לא חשוב
distance
לנראה
between
שיש
parts.
הפרש בינו
So the
לבין
creature
הבורא,
doesn't mind that there's an oppositeness,
רוצה
an antipodal difference between the Creator and the creature. Now it wants to receive for itself, and that alone is all that's in it,
בכל הכלים שלו.
in all its kelim.
אבל יחד עם זה,
But at the same time,
יש לנו
we have
תוצאה מאוד מאוד
a
יפה
very,
מכאן.
well, a beautiful results
בכל הכלים
from
האלו,
that.
בכל הכלים האלו,
Where in all these kelim,
בינה ומלכות
Bina and Malchut
התחברו יחד,
have now joined together,
כך שאי אפשר לחלק ביניהם.
so that they have now become inseparable.
מתוך שמסך נעלם,
Because the Masach disappears, the intention to bestow vanished.
יוצא לנו שגם בינה
What happens
וגם
is
מלכות,
that
הכל
both
מה
Bina
שיש
and Malchut, everything
כולם
in there,
בכוונה אחת, כולם בכיוון
all of it
אחד.
has the same intention, same direction, to
וזה מה
enjoy.
שמערבב,
And that's what mixes the kelim,
מקרב אותם,
brings them
מייחד
together,
אותם,
unites them,
מדביק אותם זה לזה,
attaches them to one another,
וזה התוצאה הטובה מאוד.
and that's a very good result.
אנחנו תמיד
Because
חשבנו איך מלכות
we always thought,
תחבר עם בינה,
how are we going to connect Malchut to
איך
Bina?
מלכות תקבל כוחות
How would Malchut
התורה מבינה,
acquire
טבע מהבינה.
the powers, the forces to bestow from Bina, the nature of Bina?
שבינה
What happens here is
ירדה
that Bina
למלכות.
came down to Malchut,
יחד עם זה שאיבדו מסך, התחברו,
while losing the Masach, they also joined together, so now they are joined, Malchut and Bina. It's a bad joining, combination, it's in order to receive.
אפילו,
It's a combination in which even the intentions are in order to receive, meaning the attitude to the Creator is also an attitude of exploitation.
לא לקבל תענוגים.
I don't want to receive the pleasures that come from the Creator. I want to enjoy the fact that the Creator serves me. That's the actual reception for self. Malchut, that Malchut and self that enjoyed receiving
מתנה, מה שיש לה
the
בבחינה.
gift that it received in Bchina Aleph,
זה שהיא מרגישה שהבורא נותן לה את המתנה.
and the fact that it felt that the Creator was given the present in B'china Bet, and how it felt what action it was doing on it by performing the same act in B'china Gimel. When it wanted to enjoy all that in B'china Dalet, it was only the manifestation of the act itself for the first time. That's why there's no prohibition there, because prohibition means that you understand the reasons and you break them again. So here, the intention itself, specifically that, breaks, and it becomes in order to receive. So now the creature wants the Creator to be its servant, give it, tend to it, please it. To summarize, let's see what we've been through thus far in our expansion. From the thought of creation, we went through the Dalet B'chinot Dor Yashar, the 4 phases of direct light. B'chinat Shoresh, root, Aleph, 1, Bet, 2, Gimel, 3, Dalet, 4. I normally draw them in detail because they are the pattern, the mold that for everything that will happen afterwards. B'chinat Dalet, we call it Malchut Ein Sof, Malchut the infinite, and afterwards it performs the Tzimtzum Aleph, the first restriction, the Olam Tzimtzum, the world of restriction. Afterwards, it works with a Masach, with a screen, producing Olam Adam Kadmon, the world Adam Kadmon. Adam Kadmon is the primordial man. The creation of the Masach and the 5 Parzufim of Ak, Adam Kadmon, by which Malchut the Ein Sof of Ein Sof fills itself, but only in the upper part, up to the tabu. After that, Malchut Ein Sof, that same Malchut Ein Sof, heaven filled itself up to the tabu. That's called Olam Adam Kadmon. Now it breaks below tabu, breaches below tabu, and below tabu it sanctifies, purifies a part of Malchut that is below tabu with the attributes of Bina. He's writing Bina. And in the other part, this is called the Parsa. He's writing Parsa. In the remaining section, it breaks it, or performs the breaking. So what do we see from here? Through the 5 Parzufim of Ak, we have a feeling here. Through Bina that came below Tabu, we also have the feeling of Tabu below the Pasa, up to the Pasa, sorry. between Tabo and Pasa. We only need to fulfill the part of the broken vessels. But because they are broken, we have a connection between Malchut and Bina. So if we now induce through some actions, if we now make Bina correct itself, and then correct Malchut with its attributes, with the intention to bestow, then we will be able to reach a state of fulfillment of the remaining part of Malchut. This will bring us to the end of correction, Ma'atikun, where the entire Malchut Ein Sof will be in order to bestow, will work in order to bestow. Therefore, all that the Kabbalists teach us from the breaking of the vessels onward is called Olam HaTikun, the world of correction. From here on, in this part, when we correct this part, we have to correct it and we have to fill it. And then we come to realize the thought of creation. That's it.